failed. They were sad even a little when you got engaged. There's people that were hoping that you didn't get that promotion that you didn't get. There's people that you were hoping that you didn't get that home loan so you couldn't move your family into that newer home, nicer neighborhood. Can y'all believe it? We have made it to 2025. We are alive and we are here. No matter what they tried to do, no matter what they said about us, we survived. We survived and thrived. We're gonna thrive in 2025. I like that. Today, I wanna talk about all of the weapons, people, places, and things that were set forth right in your path, or it would seem like they were set forth in your path to destroy you or to stop your progress. So if you're watching or listening, please know that this content is available on YouTube, Spotify, you can iTunes, you can listen or watch whatever you prefer. It's available on all platforms, and it will be at iknowimcrazy.com. If you want to go and wait, is my podcast called iknowimcrazy.com? What's the link to my podcast? Oh my God. Oh, it's I Know I'm Crazy Pod. Girl, you don't even know the name of your own stuff.
I know I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy. Naja Hall.
So you all know I took a brief hiatus from the podcast for a little bit just to handle life stuff and to get back on track and making sure that it was still what I want to do. I Know I'm Crazy podcast initially started and still very much focuses on step families and blended families in chaos and people that are kind of dealing with the fallout from how those things have affected their lives. Since then, we've talked to mental health professionals, medical coaches, people just from all walks of life. This season, we're even going to hear from people that are in the scenarios. I do some coaching sessions with some human beings that have graciously volunteered and allowed me to show off my skills and also allow themselves to be a part of edutainment, meaning we are educating and entertaining you because we kind of got to keep you entertained in order for you to stay tuned. So that's what this season is about. Anyway, I want to talk a lot about, oh my God, y'all cannot see my legs. Your girl needs some lotion. Your girl is ashy. Yikes. So let me get to the point though. I was not going to make this a video, but in this moment today, I was like, the podcasts are already scheduled out. We're scheduled out for a few months out now because I like to shoot a lot of them and then bank them just in case something happens. That keeps me from having to struggle to find a new guest every week, hurry up to edit, get ready to post. It keeps things organized. We do have a system over here, and there's a really cool team of individuals that I now have that keep this thing clocking real pretty. So this was not a planned episode because I'm sitting here in my nightgown and I did throw on a quick little lash for y'all because I had to give you a little something, but I'm sitting here in my nightgown and this is going to come out on podcast Tuesday. But you'll notice that it's not really aligned with the other content that I've been producing because I wanted to come and have a one-on-one talk with y'all, kind of like life coaching with Naja. But while I'm coaching you guys, I'm also getting coached and I'm coaching myself. So I like to tell you guys things as they come across my desk. So peep this, check it out. There are individuals right now that are hoping that you don't succeed. There's people right now that are celebrating your divorce. They're happy that your marriage failed. They were sad even a little when you got engaged. There's people that were hoping that you didn't get that promotion that you didn't get. There's people that you were hoping that you didn't get that home loan so you couldn't move your family into that newer home, nicer neighborhood that you knew, that everybody knew would have benefited you and you needed. There are people that are even so sick. There are some pus-filled, Sour Patch, stinking individuals that hope that your children suffer. They wish this much harm on you. They might not even know you. These might be people that are perfect strangers that have just been peeping you online or monitoring spirits, as they call them. They've been peeping you online for a couple years. Some of these could be people that are right next door to you or in your own family or people that know your personal business. And there's something in them that secretly wishes that you don't survive this thing. And then they are filled with even more hate and resent when you continue to thrive. There's people like that in all of our lives. Some of them have been revealed and we've been able to kick them to the curb. And some of them, their horns haven't started showing yet. So it's hard. So I wish and I pray for the spirit of discernment for anybody that's listening to my voice. And we don't have to pray to the same God. We don't have to call God the same thing. But if you don't pray, then I manifest for you a spirit of discernment, meaning that you can discern when somebody ain't for you. They're not for you. They're not for your betterment, and they're not for your progress. And they just cannot stand to see you make it. But you know, the funny thing about that is when these people have had the privilege to watch you flop, to watch your business fail, to watch a podcast get kicked off air, to watch you gain all that weight back that you lost and you were flaunting yourself around in a tiny little shorts. When you inevitably bounce back from these things, these people hurt. They hurt. But guess what? They're putrid little, oh, I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Bitch. Really? And I'm not gonna edit that out. These people, when you don't get these things that you want, they celebrate. But then when you do get these things that inevitably, because when you're down, you're going to come back up. Inevitably, when these things that come back up, when you rise back to the top, these people feel nothing. Their miserable life goes on. The misery that they sit and fester and stew in still surrounds them. The chaos by which they live and they think that they thrive is still there. They're in this constant tornado. These people go on. And so I want us in 2025 to not focus on those people. I want us, I beg you, if you are within the sound of my voice, if you're watching me, even better, I am begging you, those people that have shown us that they want to make our life's journey a little bit harder. These are the people that do not matter. We're going to send them to their pus-filled, funky, stinking lair, hairy, soiled, sordid, infertile, decrepit hole in the far depths of the earth underneath the troll's drawbridge. We're going to send them back there and any notion of them. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to focus on that which causes us harm. And you're like, oh, Naja, how the hell do I do that? Especially those of us that have people in our lives that are like right here. They're kind of adjacent to us or even parallel, that have shown us that they mean to call us harm. You're like, girl, how do I do that? This person is right here. It's my boss. It's my co-parent. It's my parent. It's my neighbor. How do I do that when this person has access to me? I'm so glad you asked me that. Let me take a little quick sip of my tea, jasmine tea. Y'all know I love a good jasmine tea. If anybody wants to send me some tea, I think I have a P.O. box. I should post that. I love a good tea. I love a good tea. If you want to send me some tea, because I like tea. So, Naja, how do I do that? How do I silence this person who has taken up space in my mind? I'm gonna tell you how. You first have to, number one, identify the person. You have to identify, and you know what? I'm going to say this. It might not even be a person, an outside person. It could be you internally. You could be your own monitoring spirit. You could be your very own inner voice. Your own subconscious could be a thing that fights against you. I'm going to use an example, right? There's a friend of mine. He always, during the holidays, he withdraws from all of us. He is an older person in his 50s, maybe. And he has no children. He's never been married. He's lost both of his parents. Well, his dad passed, who raised him. And I think his mom is like off somewhere and he doesn't have a relationship with her. So I've seen him the past 10 years I've known him. I've seen him prepare and make a feast and even create a space in his bed for seasonal depression. And he always says, oh, you guys, I won't see you guys much this holidays. I just feel seasonal depression. And I'm like, you make a space for that feeling. And it's not a chemical depression. It's not some sort of dependency. And this person does have habits that partner with and support depression, like smoking, what. That particular substance is a depressant. It's literally meant to depress your I don't know the science of it. Y'all know, y'all can look it up. A lot of y'all be smoking out there. But this person also does things that don't support it. They don't work out. There's just all these other factors in this person's life. And I do consider this person a friend, but it's so very difficult for me to know, okay, so-and-so is preparing for their seasonal depression. They've owned this depression so much, they call it my depression. Y'all know when I get sick, y'all see me post about my surgeries and stuff like that. I don't even call them my fibroids anymore because I've had to have several procedures. I've been quite honest about that, even taking you guys in the hospitals with me. I call them the fibroids. I don't own those things because I don't want them in me. I don't want them near me. I don't want to manifest that. And by manifesting it, I just mean I don't want to have habits. Like, I believe in research, and research that I personally have done up to in my 40s is it comes from stress. It comes from bad habits, not working out, poor foods, like poor eating habits, like all that stuff. So manifesting fibroids, for example, for me means partaking in all of those things that hurt, that help them grow, that feed them. So this particular person literally partakes in all of these things that help their seasonal depression to grow. They feed it. They prepare for it about a month in advance. So I feel like in this particular case, this person is their own monitoring spirit. They are their own enemy. So like I was saying before I went off on that tangent, is your enemy doesn't have to be a particular person. It can be a disease. It can be something, a trauma that you just cannot get past. It can be your own self. And of course, it can be other people. So Naja, how do we get rid of those things? You get rid of the inner enemy and the outer enemies the same darn way. Number one, you don't make space for them. I don't have space for you. I do not have. And then you also don't give them the power of proclaiming them as your enemies or your foes or your hard thing. You completely detach from the title that you have given them. So number one, you are not making space for them, meaning you are setting such a firm boundary against this person, this act, these words, these thoughts, that when they appear in your life, you minimize it. Now, it's hard to do when it's a coworker or even a spouse for some people out there. That's a little bit difficult to do. But when you detach from this person's expected role in your life, that's when you start to get somewhere. Let's just use a spouse as an example. You're in this bad relationship and you can't yet get out of it. Maybe you're not financially ready. You're staying for the kids. Whatever reason, you've convinced yourself that you have to stay adjacent to this poisonous person. Child, that ain't what this podcast is about. I'm not even trying to judge y'all for that. But whatever reason that you've convinced yourself that you need this person in your space, in your life, you're still going to detach from them because you're going to emotionally first mentally take away their title. Let's just say it's a spouse. You're not going to call them my husband or your wife, my wife anymore. You can address them by their God-given or devil-given name for some of them, but you don't address them as that. Even before your divorce is final, you still take the title away from the person mentally. Because I feel like when we give a person a title, especially my husband, my wife, my boss, my neighbor, saying the word my means they are mine. That means I am responsible in some way for this thing. And someone that we are trying to put distance in between from us, we don't want any ownership of that. We don't want to take any ownership or responsibility, because with responsibility comes this insane connection. So you're going to alleviate yourself of the responsibility. And I think just starting in some of the smallest ways, like I tell my clients, they're like, oh, my ex-wife, my ex-husband. I say, how about you refer to them as your kid's parent, my son's father, my son's mother. And that way the responsibility is to your son, not or your child. It's not to the ex-spouse. Does that make sense? You're kind of loosening and freeing yourself just by the mere use of a word. So like I said, the second thing you're going to do is just detach. And what's that number 3? I got to go back and watch this, but remove yourself from all of the responsibilities. The next thing that you are going to do is if, and this is a big if this is possible, you're going to create some distance. We've created the emotional distance, and we're going to create the physical distance. And this also comes along with boundaries, because I used to have this boss, y'all. I had a cubicle, but I had I was out of college. It was my first, I was in graduate school. I was living in Dallas, Texas. I was, I thought I was grown. I bought my own couch and I had my own apartment. I was paying my own rent. So I was grown. I was grown up. I was in my early 20s, very early 20s, maybe 23 or something. So I had this one boss and she had the haircut, it was like a short blonde bob. I mean, y'all know the haircut. And she would come into my cubicle all of the time and just lean over, kind of like on The Office. She would lean over and bark out these orders at me. Number one, that were so far out of my job requirements. I didn't know how to say, that's not my job. At that time, I didn't know. I also didn't know how to ask her to leave, or I didn't know how to ask her to change my tone. So she became the bane of my existence because I did not know. I did not recognize that I had the authority to say, girl, get the hell out of my office, or girl, that's not my job. Or, hey, let's put this in an email. Can you email me your request and CC my manager on it and CC your manager so that we all can be in the loop? I did not know that I had that type of power and authority because I was just happy to have a damn job. I was just happy to feel like a grown up, and I knew I needed to keep being able to pay that rent and pay for that couch that I had bought on credit. So you have to give yourself authority to make space and be like, I do belong here. I do have space here. I know what's well without of my realm of expectations. I know what causes me harm. I know what makes me feel frustrated and confused. And when people are bringing you this spirit of frustration and confusion and making it real heavy on you, you're going to feel imbalanced. Your nervous system is going to be on fire. You're going to be so out of whack. You're going to get headaches. You will retain weight. You get wrinkles and cellulite. As a lot of my clients know, I say, girl, you better get that, out of your life because you don't want to attract those wrinkles and cellulite. So a lot of my clients know that that's how I speak, but recognizing that you do have an authority and a voice to keep shit away from you that causes you harm. We are not sadomasochists out here. We ain't trying to invite things that cause us harm just to see how much we can survive. Remember, 2025 is about thriving, baby. So yeah, those are some things that I want you to first start doing. I might put these in a blog form because this was really good. And I'm thinking of this off the dome. Like I said, I was in there just getting dressed for the day because I have other content to make. And I was like, I need to come on here and tell them this thing that's at the top of my mind. The people, the places, the things, even some of us that are our own worst enemies, they can't live with us in 2025. They are not welcome here. So I'm going to sit up, and this is not something that I even planned, but this is just kind of on my heart to share. This is going to be our manifestation. Okay, y'all, maybe come back to this part or fast forward and listen to it. Or if you want me to, just let me know, in the comments or leave me some reviews. I definitely need more reviews. But so let's just do our manifestation for 2025. Okay. This is going to be the year that it happens for me. This is going to be the year that my hopes, my dreams, my prayers, my manifestations take physical form and they benefit me and those around me. My presence will bring joy. My presence will bring love. And in moments where I am not leading with love, I just ask that God and the universe and all the powers gently sit me down and bridle my tongue while I get myself and my stuff together so that when I am ready to resume, I am emitting nothing but God's light and love. I wish that anybody that will come, whose tongue, whose actions, whose space, whose mind forms a thought or a notion to cause me and mine harm, I wish that you sit them down and bridle them and give them time, space, and experiences by which to show them that trying to bring me harm is not only a futile effort, but it hurts them more. Show the people to me that want to partner with me. Reveal the people to me that want to make me bigger, that show me that I deserve to be centered. Allow me the space and the energy to center others. Allow me to give back this year. I might not have an infinite amount of resources, but I ask that they are poured onto me, and I can recognize when I do have a surplus and I can give it away. I ask that my hands are always open so that I'm always in a space to not only give, but to receive. I want to be in a constant cycle of giving and receiving. I ask that everything I touch turns to gold, and then it multiplies tenfold. I ask for health. I will health on myself. I will healing on myself. In my mind, I am healed. My spirit is healed. My brain is healed from the hair follicle at the very top of my head to my toenail. I am the pure manifestation of health. I am thankful. I am ever grateful. I am consumed with love, so much so that there is no room for the word hatred to be near me or it to exist near me. There's a strong force field around me so that I absorb love and I repel everything else that represents something opposite of love. I will be big, I will grow, I will multiply, I will continue to manifest. Even the thoughts that have not been able yet to been able to have formed words in my subconscious, even those things will be grand and great and protected and filled with love. 2025 is going to be my year. Did y'all like that? I stuttered a little bit through it. Like I said, I just freestyled that. But did y'all like that? I thought that was pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed this very abbreviated episode. I just had to come on here and say this and say those words to you. And I'm going to be more obedient this year. Y'all know I took some space away from creating content. I just needed to make sure that I was focusing on love. And I'm not going to lie, like everything that I've created has been in a spirit of love. Some stuff I created just from being furious and because I felt like I was being attacked or antagonized, not realizing that just my mere existence in the space that I take up makes other people's journeys a little bit more difficult. Not because I'm personally doing anything or not because I am intending that, but how they perceive the world in their own experience, they perceive me as someone that interferes and intersects in a negative way. You're going to do that with a lot of people too. Stay out of that damn way though. I want you to just stay out of that way. So you don't have to try to explain. 2025 is not going to be the year where we're trying to get people to understand our stance or where we're coming from. We ain't doing that this year, y'all. They're going to see it. They're going to see it. They're going to feel it. And if they don't acknowledge it directly, they will. Through their change actions, change behavior, they'll find themselves repeating words that they know that you've said. They'll find their children loving you and them finding ways to morph into the actions that you have just because they're children or their people, their ex-spouse, their family, just because these people show you love, they'll find ways to morph into it. So that's why I want you to continue to walk and be love, because even the people that repel your love, baby, it's going to get in their psyche and their system anyway. Oh, I have these long nails right now. So if you're watching, this is why I'm talking with my nails. Okay, y'all, 2025, we're going to thrive. I love you and I thank you for being here. I need you to like, subscribe, and follow. I am really focusing on YouTube a lot more this year. I'm on TikTok, I'm on all of the social media channels, but wherever you are watching this, I need you to please comment and like and subscribe and share. That's 4 things. And it's 4 things, y'all, but it's gonna take me like an hour to edit this right here that you're listening to. Like, for real. So if you have like 15 seconds to do those 4 things, follow, like, share, and subscribe, I can't not even express how much I appreciate it. And I appreciate you. All right. We are thriving in 2025. Oh, that was horrible.
I know I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy. Naja Hall.